Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post weight loss tips and advice videos every single week for people who may be struggling or need a little bit of extra help losing weight. Today's video is a little different. We're currently in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we're going to be doing a full day of hiking in Shenandoah National Park. So if you are subscribed to my channel only for weight loss tips and advice, I will still be posting a video every single week, including weight loss information. However, today and probably next week will probably be just a bonus video as far as our travels, because we like making these travel videos. We find them beneficial and hopefully they help other people out, because we get a lot of questions about where we go, where we stay, how we do it, things of that nature. So we're gonna go get breakfast here in Charlottesville, then we'll be off to Shenandoah National Park to hike Old Rag Mountain. So let's go. We just made it here, Old Rag Mountain. It's a 10-mile hike. Got to do some rock scrambling and stuff like that. There's a lot of parking here. I'll show you when we get back to the car. They do have overflow sites, but if you come on the weekends, especially now due to COVID, they're no longer allowing you to park on the street or anything like that. They have signs everywhere saying your car is going to be towed. So just something to keep in mind, but we're going to get started on this hike. We'll see what happens. So the first marker that you'll come to on Old Rag Mountain is here at the fork. It's about 0.8 miles away from where you park your car. It's got some distances and things on there for you. It pretty much tells you that you need to go left at the fork about 3 miles out to the summit of Old Rag Mountain, and it's a loop trail. But like I said, this is about almost a mile into the trail. You see this, you know you're going the right way, and you head left to keep going. So we just got to the very first part of the rock scrambling portion of this hike. I think it gets a little bit more difficult than this, but right when you enter the no camping beyond this point site, that's when you'll start the rocks. Nice views though. So this is the real first bouldering portion of this. So we made it to this first pretty nice little overlook here on Old Rag Mountain, but it's definitely the best overlook that we've come to so far, and we're about 3 miles into the hike. It's 10 miles round trip, and it is a loop, so you never have to kind of backtrack over what you've already done. I think I recognize this from photos on the All Trails app, but I'm just not sure if this is the main point of the hike or not, but it's really nice. You're not going anywhere.
Oh, this is so cool, guys. Woo! Dude, I would love this kind of a hike. I'm so happy to do this. Do I go down this way? Or do I go down? very much. Yeah. That's so, because we were talking about the problem is like, you have, you know, what, a year and plus of
a year,
friendship. Like,
yeah, plus, yeah.
But like, of like knowing how you work and stuff, and then go use that same exact thing.
So we're making our way back down off of the summit of Old Rag Mountain. We're currently at the Bird's Rest Shelter. It's just got a little like pull-off area. You'll see it right off the trail. There's a little marker for it. You're still in the no camping zone at this point if you're coming back down. I suggest if you're going to do this hike that you do it the way that we did it, as far as coming up the one side that gets you to the bouldering first, because then you have a 5-mile hike down, but it's all like really well maintained, really easy trail. If you do it the other way, you have to go up 5 miles on a well maintained trail, but then you have to go to the summit, and then on the other side of the summit, you're going to run into all the bouldering that you saw on the GoPro footage, and I think that would be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're tired after doing the first 5 miles of this hike. So we are still hiking out of Old Rag Mountain. Once you get, I'd say about 1.5 miles away from the summit, you hit a road, and that's where we're at right now. This is how you get back to your cars, but this is what the last probably 4 miles of Old Rag Mountain hike looks like when you're coming down from the summit, when you do the bouldering side first. So if you were to do this side first, you would walk this entire way all the way up to the back country, and then once you get into the back country area, that's when you start to climb, and then you'll come to the summit first and then hit the bouldering on the other side. Currently we're about 4 hours into this hike. We still have 2.5 miles to go back to our car. It's pretty strenuous, and we hike all the time. So that's why I would suggest doing the harder part of the hike, which is the bouldering first, and then coming, and you've got an easy road back down. Okay, so we just got back to the car, done with Old Rag Mountain. Just shy of 10 miles. We tracked it on an Apple Watch. It was closer to like 8.5 miles, maybe 9. It's kind of hard to do when you do as many bouldering sections as this hike has. All in all, this hike was really fun. We enjoyed it. It took us about 6 hours to do. So if you're gonna come do Old Rag Mountain and do the full loop, just plan accordingly as far as having enough time. There is no water stations here at the trailhead. We did not pass any national park visitor center or anything like that to get to this trailhead like we normally do when we go to national park, that allow you to fill up your canteen or your water bottles or this has none of that. So just plan accordingly when you're coming to this trailhead, that you need to bring water with you and that you have enough time. Also, this hike is definitely not dog friendly. It's on all the websites. If you are on All Trails app, which I will link the hike that we did today in the description box down below from the All Trails website, it clearly says this is not dog friendly, really dangerous for dogs. Dogs cannot do all the bouldering sections that it has. So just keep that in mind. That's probably pretty common knowledge for anybody who looks into this hike. Anybody who shows up here with dogs, there is a ranger that stays at the front of the trailhead. So we're gonna get back on the road, an hour away to our Airbnb, get cleaned up, and I will let you know where we end up for dinner. So we just got back to our Airbnb for the evening. We just got done with dinner. We had dinner at a place called Citizen Burger Bar. It was really good, local place here in Charlottesville. One of the main questions that I get a lot when we do these trips is how exactly we plan them out. This is kind of a background of how we schedule things out. We personally have a goal, my wife and I, of going to all of the national parks in the national parks system. So we've been to quite a few so far, but we're not anywhere close. So we usually plan our trips around national park destinations. We usually try to find a large or like accommodating town close by, so that way we can still go to the national parks during the day, but when we get done, we can have a nice dinner, have a nice place to stay, things of that nature. For this trip, we went to Shenandoah National Park here in Virginia, and we're here for 3 days. We chose to stay here in Charlottesville. It is the closest town that we could find that actually had like accommodating services or like amenities such as like Airbnbs and nice places to eat. It's about an hour away from the hikes that we're doing, so that just means we have to make sure that we leave the park at a okay enough time to make it back here and get cleaned up and changed and head out to dinner like we did this evening. So we flew into Baltimore, Maryland yesterday, drove down to DC for the day, and then continued to drive the extra 2 hours here to Charlottesville. When we travel, we always stay in Airbnbs, so if you're interested and you would like to do a trip like this, I will link the Airbnb that we used in the description box below. So far it's been really nice. You have the entire lower level of a home, and the host has been really nice so far. They've helped us out with a lot of stuff. They've given us a lot of good recommendations as far as things to do and places to go. So if you do choose to stay at this Airbnb, this is kind of your lower level flat that you get to use. So you have a queen size bed, you've got like a little living area over here, flat screen TV on the wall. We don't use it because like I said, we just kind of use our Airbnbs on our vacation to crash and then kind of get cleaned up and head on to the next spot. So you have the queen size bed, you have the place that they kind of hook you up with a coffee bar, water filter, got some extra outlets and stuff for you to use for your electronics, and then a couple closets, and then you get to go in here and they have a full bathroom. So that is all that we really need on our trip. So that's what we look for in our Airbnbs. We just make sure that we enjoy booking places where you never have to share the same space with the host. So far, like I said, the people have been really nice. We've really enjoyed it. So I will include all of their information in the description box down below. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to them or me. Hope you enjoyed the trip that we had up to Old Rag Mountain today. That was really an interesting hike as far as the terrain goes. We've never been on a hike that requires that much bouldering or that much climbing around. So it is July 2020. So COVID is still a very big thing. So if you are a person that's going on that hike relatively soon and you don't want to be touching the same things as other people or doing the same things around other people, you might want to avoid that one, because that requires you to touch and like be really close to other people when you're coming through the rocks, and also touch the same like holds and grips to be able to get to the next portions of the hike. So just something to keep in mind. So once again, thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you're normally here for weight loss advice, I still put out a weight loss advice video every single week on Mondays at 2 p.m. These videos are just kind of little bonuses. In 2 days, we're going to be going over to another hike in Shenandoah. We'll make another video about that called White Oak Canyon. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to check that video out when it comes out. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.